What do you do for a living? How do you earn your money? How do you earn your keep? Are you the type of person who works and says to himself or herself, well, I don't care about other people. All I care about is myself. Well, we know a lot of people won't admit to that, but they will admit to this. I don't care much about what goes on in the world as long as I and my family and friends are all right. And they view that as okay. Or they might go further than that and say, no, I'm looking after my family, my friends, and I'm contributing to my country. And that's enough. In other words, they don't care about other people in other countries, even though we all live on the same planet. So many of us are like that. When I was in the Navy, they had a saying, I'm all right, Jack, which meant I'm fine, to hell with anyone else. A lot of people look at life that way. And this comes back to how we earn a living. We know that some ways of earning a living could hardly be called, well, beneficial to mankind. Let's supposing you're an inventor and you invent a bigger and better machine gun that fires bullets more quickly. Is that really helping? It might be helping you and the company that you work for to make more money, but is it helping the world at large? We know that certain things are manufactured deliberately to hurt other people. Deliberately. Not our people, their people. And everyone is doing the same, or so it seems. And it's based on fear. It's based on fear. I remember reading an article many years ago about the dilemma of a man working, I think it was in Scotland somewhere, in a shipyard. And he was torn between his conscience of building or contributing towards building nuclear submarines and earning a living for his family in an area where there was so much unemployment, and he couldn't get a job unless he worked at that shipyard. This is the dilemma so many of us have to face. But then a lot of us don't have to face that at all. All we're concerned about is a job, and we don't particularly care what is being manufactured by that company. It's got nothing to do with us. Leave it with the bosses. This was certainly the case with asbestos. Asbestos was being produced all around the world by various big companies to make building products, to make brake linings for cars, etc. Even though it was known, certainly was known, that asbestos exposure would lead eventually to long-term illness, suffering and death for those exposed to it. No worries, don't tell anyone, they won't know about it. Is that a noble way to earn a living? We cannot turn our backs. We cannot look aside, shrug our shoulders and say, that's not my responsibility. It is our responsibility. Each one of us has a duty, not only to ourselves, not only to our family, not only to our location, our city, our state, our country, but to the world at large, to everyone living on planet Earth. And to say that we don't we know is wrong. It's now very plain indeed, that our planet is not infinite in its dimensions. God isn't making any more land, but we are making more people. We have to look after what we've got. And one of the ways to look after what we've got is to desist from making things which pollute the planet, make everybody's life miserable. And this goes particularly towards the armaments factories, those who make money out of designing, distributing, selling, and even supporting in the armed forces. We know that these things are wrong, and most of them are based on fear. Fear that I won't have enough money, fear that my country will be weak, etc. It's about time we woke up to the fact that we're all living in this place on planet Earth together. We have to support one another. To divide is not to conquer. To divide is to suffer. We must bring unity. We must understand that we are all one of the same people, human beings living on planet Earth now. Now. And we have to act from now. No good putting it off and saying, one day we'll do it. We have to do it now. Right livelihood. What do you do for work? What's your living? Are you contributing to the common weal? Are you really?